Wow. All right, Sagittarius. So we're looking already at this past energy. Like, what happened here? Like, this is great. The Six of Wands talking about success rather. This is victory also. But being recognized for the effort that you've been put in, right? Being recognized for the effort that you've been putting in, and honestly, just feeling all successful. Now, internally, it's because of a new beginning, or internally, there is a start to a new beginning here because of possibly the work that you've been putting in. That's finally starting to pay off. A step in the past, it was paid off. You started something new. It's a new adventure, a new beginning, and it's exciting. Okay. And I think it brings out a bit of creativity out of you too, because the Ace of Wands is creative energy. However, externally, you have the Four of Pentacles, which really talks about like holding things back and not necessarily stepping outside of your comfort zone. But I do get this feeling that since this is talking about the past, and this is effort, and this is success in your situation, right? This is success by putting effort in your relationship. Perhaps you have stepped outside of your comfort zone. You've done something that was, that was risky, something that would put you in a place of vulnerability. And I feel like that is why the past is such a success, and why you have a new beginning here, a new beginning in regards to commitment, stability, so, building a foundation, starting something new in regards to moving in together, potentially for those of you that have the Four of Wands here. Now, I would like to see, the Six of Swords to be absolutely sure this is somebody that's moving into together with an individual. But I saw the King of Pentacles. I'm like, I don't read y'all as the King of Pentacles, so who's this? But this could be like you guys have started something new, and this is probably an offer of some sort of long-term commitment here, and you feel like you've made some sort of ground here with the relationship. You've made some solid ground, some stable ground here with the Four of Wands. Yeah, reached a higher place of commitment, and that's great, right? You can't stay here, of course, right? But this is a definite time to celebrate, and it's definitely okay to celebrate, especially considering that you guys have started something new here with someone. And all beginnings are exciting, right? The Ace of Wands is super exciting, and you felt that, right? It's internal. And now it's actually happening. It's the manifestation of it happening. Now, the Ace of Pentacles, now, to remind you guys, it's a very slow process. So for some of you guys, this may be that it's great, it's exciting, and you're building something, and you've reached a higher place of commitment. Now it's about, it is a slow start though. It's very slow. It builds upon itself, and it takes time, and working diligently and effortlessly. Well, effortlessly building. It's building it, dedicating time and effort to it. That really builds the foundation for it. And I feel like internally with this relationship, you do feel like you've reached a good platform for the relationship. And externally, you have someone that you can, trust, rely on, someone that is very grounded, and they are, potentially they could be focusing on money, though. They could be very focused on making money and building a business, because the King of Pentacles is just as much a family man as he is a businessman. This person is very focused on practical means, potentially. So there could be an individual that you're dealing with that's very stubborn, it's very fixed in some ways. And I feel like that could be that could be the whole, the gist of it in regards to the situation. This could even be you, Sag. You could be running a business. You could be, focusing on practical things at this time. Feeling very grounded, and really, most of all, feeling very committed to the relationship that you're starting to build something with, or trying to build a legacy with a person, right? You're trying to build a legacy right now with a King of Pentacles, or you are the King of Pentacles that's committed to building something with this individual. Excellent, right? Beautiful. All so far, absolutely wonderful. And you stepped outside of your comfort zone. That is, Saggies, you try something new all the time. You're very experimental. You take risks. You do something. You try something. If it don't work out, it don't work out. You just, you're like, hey, that's the learning process. You guys are not just the teachers. You're also the learners. So this whole experience is showing some great stride and it's really building on itself. That's beautiful. Now, what the future here has coming up for you guys is the Hermit, which is looking within yourself, taking a step back and looking within, gaining some answers and doing some soul searching. There could be some spiritual transition here. And this spiritual transition has a lot to do with the future main energy, which is the Page of Wands, which has a lot to do with a new beginning, a new adventure. This has a lot to do with you personally. And with this page here, with this new adventure, it has a lot to do with potentially gaining new information, gaining new intel, or most importantly, it's communicating your truth in some ways. Okay, this relationship is growing exponentially. Dedication, hard work, concentration, and focusing on what you need to build the relationship in a very healthy fashion. The thing here that I'm missing out of the relationship, though, is Cups. I like to see more Cups cards, because as far as love goes, yes, this is great. You're moving up in a higher place of commitment. Right now, this could be seriously boring, though, because even though you feel like you've reached a place of, of balance, of stability, you still have the Ace of Pentacles, right? Yes, it's exciting. It's a new beginning that's starting up, but you have the King of Pentacles here that's very focusing on that's very focused on practical means, building and working hard, and it can be very boring, but there is, this passion that's definitely here. But as far as Cups cards go, the Cups is about love and emotional connection. There may be practical stuff going on, right? Building a foundation together, but the relationship, as far as emotions go and emotional connection, that's one part that I feel like is missing. Especially since in the past here in the external energy, there was a bit of holding back, especially if you were feeling very vulnerable or somebody was feeling very vulnerable here. There was a bit of hesitance or hesitation based off of a current foundation that they had held up for quite a long time. But with all of this happening, I do feel like this is why the Hermit is coming up in the future, right? Looking within, figuring out what it is that your emotions are telling you. Because currently, you're going off of, steam. This is great, but, what does your heart want? What is your emotions telling you? There's some things that the Cup cards do fill in with for the relationship that adds that extra, that shows the connection, that shows the love there. And with every relationship, I feel like, there needs to be some sort of Cups cards coming up. But there's a lot of focusing on what practically needs to be done. Focusing on the value of something, okay? And everything, yes, has value, but I feel like with the future, it's about looking at what it is that you truly want, not necessarily what is familiar. Because the King of Pentacles is a person that constantly does something on repeat because it's something that's familiar. Okay, and I feel like with the Page of Wands, this is taking a new direction, taking a new journey, going on a new journey. This is also news as well, and this news has a lot to do with this Page of Swords, this communication, it's blunt communication here. And I feel like this new beginning is excellent, it's exciting, because it opens you up to a new world, which involves your emotions. The King of Pentacles, he doesn't really go into his emotions very much. He's very practical. He looks at what's there, what he can work with. He finds solutions. And this is a very solution-based situation. Now, in this relationship, it's a new beginning, so that way, there is some things that need to be looked at in regards to how to make a relationship work for the both of you that hasn't, that's obviously worth as much value to you and the other person, but at the same time, there isn't a lot of emotional connection here. There's not a lot of emotional stuff coming up, but I feel like that's why the future's coming up with the Hermit. Still, this is really good energy. Really good. I'm really happy for you guys. This is excellent. The Page of Wands to talk about a new beginning, like I said, and I feel like it has a lot to do with your emotions and communicating what it is that you want. Being certain about what it is that you are looking for, what you want in a relationship. Most importantly, okay, let's go ahead and pull you guys your romance angels for this week. Whoa, attraction, nice. Attraction, you attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. And the Ace of Pentacles is a very slow energy, so you will have to eventually, you will have to kind of take it slow, enjoy the moment, spend time with one another, building a foundation that does take time and effort, quality time and effort, because this is, you know, in order to build something that's strong and, you know, sturdy, it will take some really concentrated time in working through it. And I feel like this is really building on something real, building on something that can actually withstand, you know, stand the test of time, building it towards legacy. And I feel like with whatever's going on here, that is the pinnacle of it. This is the pinnacle of that. And with attraction here, I feel like if you enjoy each moment fully, which you are doing right now, I feel like with the Four of Wands, as you guys are enjoying it, because this is a celebration, right? The Four of Wands is a celebration, it's happiness, it's all that greatness. I feel like as long as you enjoy the moment fully and recapture the moment with your partner, things can solidify, things can strengthen. The relationship itself is going to strengthen itself. And it's already very strong from what it looks like. It looks like it's very strong. It's just going to get even stronger the more you look at the relationship or spend time with your partner, really building something with this individual, building something of value as well. And I want to see, why is the Hermit coming up for the future in the internal section? Why is the Hermit doing that? Because this also talks about withdrawal. Okay, Temperance. Maintaining and managing yourself. Okay, so with Temperance coming up here with the Hermit, it's about moderation in all things, harmony, and it's perhaps looking within yourself to regain harmony. But you also, with the Hermit card, you have confidence in yourself to know that you have the answers that you're looking for. And I feel like the confidence to be harmonious in the relationship, perhaps. Maybe you are, this is also your card, right? Sag, Temperance is your card. So with Temperance coming up, I feel like it's about being harmonious. It's about keeping your stuff together and managing yourself and making sure yourself is harmonious. Because the Hermit is it only talks about one individual. So I feel like for you guys, this could be that you guys are looking to be more, balanced in your life, being more, leveled out in your life. And that new beginning has a lot to do with just speaking what you need to speak. And it's a new adventure because you're handling yourself and not, looking at other people's stuff. You're not dabbling in any other, you're not being codependent, anything like that. You're just handling you. And I feel like that's what this whole relationship is about. Focusing on what it is that you can do, because the King of Pentacles is only one person here. So this is really about focusing on what your needs are, focusing on what you need to remain grounded. Because there is something that's strong that can be built and is being built right now. And you guys are doing an amazing job. Okay.